Literacy acquisition is comprised of four main components: balanced literacy, writing process, writer's workshop, and the 6 traits of writing. Balanced literacy integrates various modalities of literacy instruction which are aimed at guiding students toward proficient and lifelong reading. The balanced literacy approach is characterized by explicit skill instruction and by the use of authentic text. The components of balanced literacy include interactive, shared, and independent writing. Interactive writing, which is when the teacher and the student share the pen. For example, a teacher could write simple sentences on the paper and have the student fill in the blank left by the teacher. Shared writing is the method of teaching students to write by modeling it for them. The teacher acts as a scribe while the students work together to contribute ideas. Independent writing is when the students write on their own. Students should be encouraged to write about familiar topics in formats that have previously modeled by the teacher. I have seen my mentor teacher use balanced literacy in my placement this semester by using the smartboard to show the reflection of her writer's journal as she models her writing expectations for that day's workshop. She incorporates interactive, shared, and independent writing during every writing lesson. Writing workshop is based upon the idea that students learn to write best by writing frequently and for extended periods of time about topics that are familiar to them. The 3 main parts of this student-centered approach include mini lesson with mentor text and introduction, writing time, and sharing time. The mini lesson with mentor text and introduction is a vital part of the process because it allows the students to see a good example of an author using the writing concept that is being taught that day. Writing time is the longest portion of Writer's Workshop. This is the time for the students to target what they were taught in the mini lesson and continue working on their independent writing assignment. Sharing time is a time for each writer to reflect on their writing that day or to share their writing with the class. In my 3rd grade ELAR placement, my mentor teacher uses Writer's Workshop daily. She introduces a new prompt weekly that pertains to current events or holidays in the students' lives. Each workshop is started by a mini lesson and is followed by independent writing time and one-on-one help by the teacher. The writing process is a series of 6 steps that writers take to fulfill expectation of readers. The first of the 6 steps is rehearsing and pre-writing. This step is when the writer is developing ideas and organizing their thoughts before they begin writing a first draft. Step 2 is drafting. A draft is a time when the author is developing a more fluent product by writing their ideas in detailed form, but still needing improvements. The 3rd step is revising. Revising is the time when a writer ensures the purpose of the writing is clear and presented in a manner that is cohesive to the ideas that he or she wanted to convey. Step 4 is editing. Not to be mistaken for revision, editing is when a writer checks for grammatical errors and prepares the writing to be published. Step 5 is sharing, when the writer conferences with a peer or mentor to show their written work. The last step is publishing. This is when the final product is shared. There are a variety of ways to publish. One way to incorporate publishing into the classroom is by incorporating a publishing party where the students can share their work with the teacher and peers. My student Josavia looked forward to our publishing party all semester, and it definitely encouraged her along the way to continue working on her writing. After the publishing party was over, she was already asking when I was going to come back for us to continue writing together. Most of the students value sharing their writing with their teachers and peers highly. The 6 traits of writing are based on research that all good writing is based around 6 things: ideas, organization, voice, word choice, sentence fluency, and conventions. The idea trait is when the student is brainstorming what they're going to write about. The organization trait is a time for the students to possibly use a graphic organizer of some sort to organize the ideas that they have previously come up with. The focus on voice is when the writer determines the tone of their writing, whether it be happy, sad, excited, and so on. Word choice is an important step because it encourages the writer to review simple or boring words that they have used and think of other exciting words that could be used in place of the boring word. Sentence fluency is the step where the writer ensures that their writing has rhythm and flow that makes it easy to read. An easy way to assess this is by reading and writing aloud to listen for any discrepancies. The last of the 6 traits is conventions. Conventions include spelling, punctuation, capitalization, grammar, and sentence structure. They make the writing readable. I plan to use the 6 traits of writing in my classroom as much as possible. It provides a clear path to follow when teaching the proper order of constructing a paper. I would take one trait at a time and make that the focus of my lesson, like we did with our students this semester. These 4 main aspects of writing are all connected because they all work together to improve the writer and the teaching process in some way. You can't really have one without the other. Balanced literacy and writer's workshop provide a basis for how the writing time is to be conducted. The writing process lays out the steps during that writing time, and the 6 traits describe what needs to be taught in each of those steps. The combination of all 4 components make an effective and confident writer.